Hello everybody, Raven Knight here, coming at you with another update video. I know I do these once a week, and some of y'all have pointed out that I do them too often, and I apologize if you feel that way, but I just like to keep you guys in the know. I like to communicate with my community as often as possible. So, hey guys, I won't take up too much of your time, I promise. But speaking of my community, announcement number one of the day. If you are on my Discord, you've seen the changes. As of last night, lots of big changes coming to Discord. Lots of big changes have happened on the Order of the Raven server. And I want to thank one of my followers, Viking, who offered to make all those changes. I'm not good at that kind of stuff. I've never been good at that kind of stuff. But Viking stepped up, said, hey man, your Discord server looks a little bit crazy. Would you like me to try to organize it a little bit for you? And I said, dude, if you can do it, please do it. So he did it. Looks great. Looks much more well organized. It's awesome. Now I feel like we have a much better place to meet as a community. It's so cool. So thank you so much for that. And speaking of the community, we're almost at 2,000 subscribers, y'all. What? 2,000 subscribers. I didn't think I'd get this far. I never thought in my wildest dreams that we'd actually be reaching this point. And I know that there are plenty of YouTubers way more popular than that who look at 2,000 subscribers and go, that much. But for me, that's huge. And as I promised, once we reach 2,000, I'll do a face reveal. It won't be much, just a face reveal. Hopefully I'll be moved by that time, so I'll be in a better location. But whatever the case, yeah, that's so awesome. But speaking of which, the second big announcement, 2 more weeks until the move. So I want to apologize first and foremost. If at any time, speaking to my community here, if any time I've come off as cross or frustrated, or I've snapped at someone, or I've sounded angry, it's not because of y'all. Genuinely, it's because these next 2 weeks are going to be very frustrating, and the last few weeks have been very frustrating. Because going through the process of the move, going through a lot of stuff at work with the transfer, lots of changes happening. It's kind of crazy, and I'll admit I haven't been sleeping well lately. A lot of that because of the stress and the frustrations, just lots of stuff going on. I can't wait to move, but there's a lot that goes into this move. And like the seller raising and lowering prices, getting down a down payment, closing on the location, knowing when they're moving out, making sure that we have the right furniture to move in, finding people to help move said furniture, making sure that I'm going to be able to transfer right away from my current job to my new job. It's a lot. There's a lot going on. But I just wanted to say that if I ever came off as cross to you, I apologize. Okay, so with that said, because the move is taking place in 2 weeks, and it's going to take some time to do the move, I'm not going to be able to work. And that means that money's going to be a little bit tight for a while. It's always tight, but especially tight at this point. So again, I'm not one to beg for anything, but if you want to help support the channel, I highly recommend subscribing. If you haven't already, and also if you look in the link in the description, you'll see a link to my Teespring store where I sell some merchandise with some stuff on it, and any Raven Knight or Raven Lord merchandise is 20% off until April 6th. So remember that, any Raven Knight or Raven Lord merch is off 20% until April 6th. That way I can encourage y'all to buy something, and I can make maybe a little bit of money to help pad things out while I go through this move. Again, not begging, you're under no obligation, but it would help out a lot. So, with all that stuff out of the way, let's get down to the stuff you really want to hear. So what's new with the channel? What's going to happen? Okay, so as you know, I've released a new Raven's Writing Room, and really liked it. I'm trying something new with the Raven's Writing Room. I mentioned at the end of the video, but what I want y'all to do, as King Boomy said in Avatar: The Last Airbender, what's the point in tests if you don't learn anything? And again, this isn't a school, but I was a teacher, and if I'm going to be teaching y'all some of my writing advice, and you're really interested in growing as writers and learning from what I give, and let me be frank, there are lots of better writing YouTubers out there, like Literature Devil, I think is one of the best I've ever seen, or Terrible Writing Advice. Don't let the name fool you, he's actually very good at this stuff. I've read one of his books, he's good, he's a good writer. So take what I say and know that it's from my own experiences and from my own perspective. There are plenty of other people who are subjectively and objectively better. But anyway, if you really want to learn from me, then at the end of each video, I give a little test or a little assignment or project to try for yourself that you can put in the comments, and I pick the one that I think impressed me the most, and in the next Raven's Writing Room, I will dedicate a few moments to addressing it, reading it out loud, and sharing it, and showing why I like it. So just something fun that I thought I'd try. It would definitely bring more people in, help y'all feel more active in the community, and help keep me in touch with y'all a lot better. So with all that said, moving on. Next up, Next, I promise, guys, I'm not being slack about it, but it's just taking time with For Honor and Glory. I promise that I'm getting on it. I promise that I'm working on it, but I want it to be a big deal because this is going to be a long chapter coming up, and it's going to be very dialogue heavy. So I want to make sure that when I do it, it's a big deal. Plan on it. I'm giving a rough date here, but plan on it on April 7th. That is my best guess when it will be ready, April 7th. Because after that, I'll be moved in. I'll be in the new location, and we can celebrate with the new For Honor and Glory chapter, okay? So if y'all are really itching for that one, know that it is coming. I am working on it, but I want it to be a big deal because this is a big chapter coming up. So please be patient a little longer. I apologize for the wait. Also, working on the next fantastical history, vampires. I had to rewrite the whole script. My computer crashed. This computer, guys, my laptop was not designed for all this hard work, okay? I'm probably going to be upgrading to a PC sometime in the future. I don't know if it'll be a gaming PC, but maybe just a PC that will last longer and allow me to do more things. But when I do, it'll be a lot easier to do this kind of stuff, and I won't have to worry about crashes anymore. But that aside, working on a vampire video, and I'm going to be talking about how vampires would exist in today's society. Now, here's the sad part. I'll give you a brief spoiler, I guess. Here's the really sad part. The more I thought about realism, I realized that there are so many different ways we can interpret vampires. You've got vampires like Dracula or Alucard from Helsing, but then you've also got vampires like 30 Days of Night. You got vampires like Twilight. You got vampires from so many different mediums and perspectives. It's really hard to nail down, well, which one would exist. So what I'm doing in this video is I'm going to kind of address the three extremes. The three extremes are, you've got your Alucard level vampire, who are these gods, okay? These dudes capable of unbelievably powerful supernatural feats. We're going to be dealing with the Twilight vampires, who don't have a lot of supernatural feats, but are still relatively unkillable, and but are still very populous, because with vampires like Alucard, they're rare. With vampires like Twilight, they apparently are everywhere. I don't get it. And then we're going to go somewhere in the middle where we talk about the real scientific explanations for how vampires could actually exist. Like, scientifically, how would a vampire function? Why would they function the way they do? Why do they drink blood? Why does the sun bother them? Why does garlic bother them? I'm actually going to break down how a vampire could scientifically exist, and how vampires would be treated by society, particularly in the medieval and modern age. So really excited to do that one, because vampires are a topic I've always loved. If you watch my Dracula video, you know that I really like vampires. I think that they are a fascinating supernatural creature. Really love studying them, really love reading up on them and watching videos on them. It's very, very cool. One of my favorite things to do as a teacher was when I got to teach some of my students about Dracula. That was fun. Okay, I'm getting off that train now. All right, so here's a question that I've been asked before. Why don't I talk about Vikings and Wulin very much in my videos? I do more on samurai and knights, especially knights. Why do I not talk about Vikings and Wulin as much? There are two reasons. I wanted to address this reason real quick in my update. So firstly, I don't talk about Vikings as much, not because I don't know things about them, but because I want the craze of Assassin's Creed Valhalla to die down. And I also want people to understand that Vikings are a topic that is very similar. Vikings are a topic that I don't want to dive too deeply into without giving proper context and proper background information. And let me explain. Valhalla, I think, has done a lot of harm to people's perspective of Vikings. I stopped playing Valhalla, as you know, Assassin's Creed Valhalla, because I thought that the gameplay was bad. My brother stopped playing because he saw so many historical inaccuracies, it was driving him crazy. Valhalla has not done a lot of good for Vikings in terms of realism. Now, a lot of people know, oh, come on, pop culture hasn't done favors for the Vikings for a long time. I mean, the horns on the helmet. Yeah, you're right. And Valhalla did take away the horns on the helmet, but they also added things that are just not factual. They added things about Vikings that just aren't real. And one day, what me and my brother will probably do is sit down and go through several of the historical inaccuracies in Valhalla. But that's for another time. The reason I don't do as much about Vikings is because my expertise has always been on Japanese history and on medieval knight history. Vikings are not as much my expertise. I know a lot, I've studied a lot, but before I ever do a Viking video, I do a lot of research first. I do some reading, I do some research, hard evidence, encyclopedias, library runs, I do a lot of stuff to make sure I know my stuff. As for the Wulin, I hate to admit it, but China is not my area of knowledge. I know some things about China. I know some key figures in Chinese medieval history. I know a lot about the different dynasties, but the Wulin are not my area of expertise. And I know that if I try to do whole videos dedicated to Wulin stuff, it's going to end up with a lot of debunking videos and a lot of people telling me I don't know what I'm talking about. So I'd rather not be dishonest and pretend I know a great deal, when in reality, I know enough. So if I make Wulin videos, I need a lot of time to do research and find out truth versus fiction. I also like going to people who know more than I do about it. There's lots of people out there who know more about Chinese medieval history than I do. So know that it's a lot easier for me to put out knight and samurai videos than it is for Viking and Wulin videos. It's not that I don't want to do them, it's that before I do them, I want to do extensive research before I do, so that I know true to fact that I'm doing it right. There's one thing I care more about than anything. It's about being as factual as possible. So that is why I hope y'all don't mind. But a little bit of good news. Hopefully this week or next week, I'm releasing a video about women in these 4 cultures. I did a read through of an article about how modern men are sexist because of stuff we've learned about ancient women, right? I did that video, but then it occurred to me, you know what? People need to know how women lived in these time periods and in these cultures. What was life like for them? So I'm going to be doing a video in the near future where I talk about what was life like for women in these 4 cultures in the medieval age. So look forward to that. I'm really excited to make it, and I'm going to be sitting down with my brother to help make sure that we get everything as right as possible. And trust me, there will be a lot of research going into it. Okay, so with all that said, looking forward to this Friday when we do another live stream. Going to be playing a little bit more For Honor. Go ahead and let me know in the comments or on the Discord if you'd like to offer a suggestion for which hero I start with. It's going to be a lot of fun, guys. I love doing live streams with y'all. I love keeping in contact with y'all, guys. People have been saying, "Man, it's going to be a bad day when you become such a big YouTuber that you don't have time for your community anymore." And I'm not going to say that will never happen, that I'll always be there, but I will say this. I will not forget my friends. I will not forget the people who got me this far. You guys have helped make my dream of being a YouTuber. Well, you know what? I want to scratch that. My dream was not to be a YouTuber. My dream was to share my passion and love for medieval history and gaming and storytelling with people. I tried doing it through being a teacher in a public school system. That failed the 3 times I tried. But now I think I found a way to make it work, and in a way that has drawn in so many people. I've had so many people tell me how much they appreciate my channel and how much they really like the stuff I do. Guys, I'm not one to brag on myself. I don't like doing that. I think that's very rude. I think that's vulgar. But y'all have really opened my eyes to what this channel could do and what all I could do with it. I've got so many ideas of what I want to do, especially once I move in with my brother and he can be more available, because I know he wants to make videos on this channel too. He wants to share some of his topics as well. This is going to be awesome. This is going to be an awesome move. So much is going to happen, guys, and y'all are part of the reason it's happening. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you haven't subscribed yet, smash that subscribe button. Like the video so that I can see that y'all love it. Leave your comments below about what you think about the channel, what you think about what I've said, and what you think about my upcoming live streams and videos. Love to hear from you guys. If you haven't joined the Discord yet, shoot me a comment and sit by your computer and check it regularly, because I will probably send you a link to the Discord. All right, guys, I will talk to you later.